Good Sunday night, Piper. How is everybody? Well, grab your favorite pipe, pack you up a good bowl of something good, something you enjoy, and join me with a smoke here. Let's enjoy a smoke together. A little housekeeping. I'm smoking a blend that I've kind of had stuck back in my tobacco drawer. One that I don't have decanted. This is from the Pipe and Tobacco Shop in Little Rock, Arkansas, called Cafe a la Supreme. Bought 2 ounces of this, and I'm smoking it in a Lorenzetti bent. And look, I told y'all the other day, I don't know why I said a billiard. I really didn't know why I called it a billiard, but I certainly didn't think it was Dublin. But according to Lorenzetti, this is what they classify this as, a Dublin. To me, it really doesn't have the. I guess if you look at it, a Dublin to me is more distinctive than that, but that's what they classify it. So it's what they call it. They call this a Dublin. So I've smoked this on here 2 or 3 times, and there's several little things that I love about this pipe. Now, this one came from Just for Him in Springfield, but the rustication is just awesome. And this pipe is kind of black, but it's deep. It's so deep burgundy it looks black. But I like the way a little section there it lightens up, and I love the shape of this rim on this bowl and the graining that's in there. I first had to go back and look at it. I thought, well, maybe it's bird's eye, but it's really not. There might be a couple of places in there, but I love and I'm gonna fix this up one day and have one of the lights to the back of me. That's really, if you want good lighting, they say the lighting would need to be behind the camera. So but this is one of my top 5 favorites, I would say. Good draw, good feel in your hands, and I love the looks of it. You can't go wrong with one of these little Lorenzettis, and you can buy them for $50 to $100 any day of the week. This one was about $70, I think, Just for Him. I want to start out with an apology. Excuse me, I've got a little drainage in my throat. And Emily got back from Texas today with my mom. She's got a little cough. This weather has changed. It's kept us all screwed up. But I do want to start out with an apology. A lot of people have asked me for advice. I've gotten several PMs on advice, about channel and how to maintain your channel and create a good friend base on here. One of the pieces of advice I gave is always answer comments when people comment to you. If they're taking the time to make a comment to you, comment back. And I have not practiced what I preached in the last week or 10 days. I've been extremely busy. A couple of nights I just fell asleep before I could. But if you see, and I apologize because I value your comments, I value your friendship, and I read the comments and love to correspond back and forth through the little comment section. It's part of the adventure pipe smoking of the YouTube pipe smoking deal, and it's a hobby, and it's fun, and I enjoy it, and I count each of y'all as my friends. So if you see me comment on something from several days ago and you think, what the heck was he talking about? I don't even remember that. Has he lost his mind? Well, if you don't remember, just investigate a little deeper. It may be a comment that's from several days ago, but I'm going to try my best to catch up. If for some reason I don't take it personal. Because I'm far behind, but I'm going to spend today and tomorrow night trying to catch up. So But thank y'all for your comments. Keep them coming because I enjoy them. I'm going to give you a little tip. This Cafe Du Monde, and that's not Cafe Du Monde. I've got one from just for him called Cafe Du Monde. This is Cafe a la Supreme, and it's kind of a rich mocha taste, aromatic. But this is probably 10 months old. And aromatics will lose their flavoring. You know, if they're the cased ones, will begin to lose some of their casing or some of their flavor. This one is still in good shape. And if you get one, you want to, and this has been stored in a drawer that I've got several blends stored in, but mash all of as much air out as you can. And of course, fold it and mash it. And of course, get your now right here when I'm trying to film, they always use the worst bags. I love their blends, but okay, there you go. Get as much air out of it as you can, and then I double seal it. I take another bag and I get an order in, like this is an old pipesandcigars.com one. Here's another one that I've done the same way. It's got some McClellan 3 cherry blend in, and get the air out of that bag, fold it up. I do it on my stomach so I can get something to work with. Seal it. You got a double bag, and this, you'd be surprised you can gain another 4 or 5 months out of that before you start having an issue with flavor loss. Boy, the weather's changing here drastically. Pipe Pappy, y'all sending that junk over here that y'all had. I wish you'd have kept it in Oklahoma. It was 73 degrees here when we pulled up at my dad's. Emily came back from Dallas with my mom. She went over, spent the weekend with drove over with my mom and my sister that's here and her 2 children. Got a little girl about Emily's age, and they're closest sisters. They're cousins, but they're tight, you know. And drove over with them, and they spent the weekend. You got to do a little swimming, and they stayed at one of the Holiday Inns there in Denton. Has an indoor pool. So Miss Emily had a good little weekend, and they got back about 6 o'clock, I guess. And my wife and I went into town and drove out to my dad's. My mom called and said they were in Arcadia, Louisiana, which is about 45 minutes to an hour run across I-20. So we drove out to my dad's and visited with him a little bit before they got home. And when we pulled up in Daddy's driveway, it was 73 degrees. We left about an hour later with Emily, and it had dropped to 50 degrees from 73 to 53. And boy, it was getting, that wind was whipping. I figured we'd get some turbulent weather, some thunderstorms, and may yet. But when we get up in the morning, it's supposed to be 28, the high 37 tomorrow. It's supposed to be some sleet in the morning. Of course, it's been warm the last 4 or 5 days in the 60s and even 70s. So the ground's not cold. It shouldn't have any accumulation, but it may hit the limbs and trees pretty good. It may have some power outages. And there's a chance of it Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday will be back in the 40s. By the weekend, back in the 70s. I'm hoping this is one of our last little hoorahs for winter. I surely am. But this old a la Supreme is smoking pretty good. It's not one of my favorite blends from them, from the Pipe and Tobacco Shop here in Little Rock. I always try to stop there when I go through Little Rock. It's on University Avenue, and it's about from the interstate when we're going to Daddy's cabin up there, you got to go through Little Rock to get to it. The cabin's about 110 miles on up north of Little Rock, but the only drawback to it is it's a hard 30-minute drive off the interstate. You got to go down through town, and traffic is horrible, and it's been under construction down there for 3 years. Go down on University, and it's a decent little shop down there. They're not the friendliest in the world, but they've got 2 or 3 blends that I like. And Wilshire, I love that Wilshire, and I try to keep it on hand. They got one called Our Cherry, which, like I say, I about narrowed my cherry blends down to 6 Kings, and now I kind of like the Cherry Smash from Boswell's that toy maker Larry sent me in, so I'll probably keep that one on hand too. But 6 Kings is a cherry, light vanilla combo. And Alfred, one of your messages the other day said you were going to do a salt treatment on a Graybo freehand. Man, I think that 6 Kings would go great in that Graybo. My little Omega, it's one of my favorites to smoke cherry blends in. I guess because it brings back so many memories. Maybe it's psychological, of the old days when I was just starting out pipe smoking. Like everybody else, I started out on a buttered rum type and cherry. And I still like a cherry. Once in a while, I get in the mood for a cherry blend. We went to see I went to eat at the new Italian place that I was telling y'all about yesterday, and it was decent. Still, my favorite is Gino's. Place has been here since the early 60s in the same location. My wife tries all different kind of Italian dishes. I'm a pretty basic guy. I go for the spaghetti and meatballs or lasagna. I'll go with the intentions of going to try some exotic dish, and I get there and I chicken out and I stay with my spaghetti and meatballs or lasagna. But nobody seems to have a combo of the two. You know, you can get a combo of lasagna and something else, or lasagna and manicotti, or lasagna and some kind of veal palmer, a veal dish, but it's hard to find a combo of spaghetti and meatballs and lasagna. I'll tell y'all about a 75-year-old man that they'd run every kind of test imaginable on him that you could think of, and he was proud of that. And he told the doctor, said, "Well, Doc, you've run about every test known to man on me over the last couple of years." And the doctor said, "Yeah." I said, "About the only thing we hadn't done is a sperm count." So the old man got home. He said, "Well," got to thinking. He said, "Let's make this unanimous." So he goes back to the doctor and says he wants a sperm count. The doctor says, "Test run." The doctor said, "Well, okay, take this jar home and bring back a sample of your sperm in the morning." So the next day, the old man reappeared at the doctor, gave him the jar, which was just as empty and clean as it was when the doctor gave it to him. The doctor said, "Well, what happened?" And he said, "Well, Doc," he said, "I got home and I said I first tried it with my right hand. Got nothing. Tried it with my left hand. Nothing." Said, I asked my wife for help. Said she tried it with her left hand. Nothing. Tried it with her right hand. Got nothing. Tried it with her mouth, with her teeth in. Got nothing. Then tried it with her mouth with her teeth out. Still nothing. So we even called up the lady next door, and she came over, tried it with her left hand and right hand, and even her mouth, and we still got nothing. That doctor was shocked. He said, "You masked your neighbor?" The old man said, "Yep." Said, "And no matter what we tried, we just couldn't get this dang lid off." Y'all take care. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow, and God bless.